Good morning and welcome back to the Brenda Perryman Show right here on TV 33 WHPR, Comcast 20 in Detroit, Highland Park, all over the world, courtesy of the World Wide Web at www.tv33whpr.com. And welcome back. And with me, I have a producer, a person who's into theater, and you know that's my deal, and Mr. Shawn P. Williams of Shawn P. Entertainment. Good morning, Shawn.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing today, bro?
Oh, I don't know. It's still a little choked up.
Oh,
This was
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
This
yeah,
was hard, you
yeah.
know. I just believe that young people should get the opportunities because it's the young people who are going to carry our
Oh, yeah.
city along, you know. And tell me a little about yourself. Where'd you go to high school and so
Okay.
forth?
My name is Shawn P. Williams. I went to Murray Wright High School,
Murray Wright.
class at 1989.
89.
Also, I went to Bernie Elementary in Winterhalter.
Oh, wow. Winterhalter on Broad Street.
Yeah, yeah.
remember.
Oh, yeah.
I grew
The
up
good
in-
old days.
I grew up in that hood.
I grew up on Dexter and Richton.
Oh, I was on Clements.
Okay, well,
Uh-huh.
I'm not ashamed of the West
Oh,
Side.
no. Oh, never. West
Never.
Side.
What'd you say,
West
West Side?
Then
Yes,
what happened
ma'am.
after you left high school? After you left high school, what
Well,
happened?
I got into the music business, and then I did the music business for years, and then it's always.
What do you mean you got into it? What did you do?
I did promotions and marketing. When
Really?
artists come to town, I had to take them around. Took a ton of rappers, R&B
How
singers.
did you learn to do that?
Wow,
Watching
really,
others?
really, quite a few people got me into it. Brian Piccolo from back in the day,
Brian.
Cole Medina, R.J. Watkins.
Yes.
That Morris. It was just something that just happened. They was like, hey, you want to get paid going around, taking artists around to the clubs. And that's what I did. I was just always out there passing out flyers, passing out T-shirts. And in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do plays. So I kept on going to plays. And then finally I
So-
said, I got to do my own play.
And so you were involved with Frankie Darcell when
Yes.
she did the
Yes.
Vagina Monologues
Yes.
and everything.
Yes.
Everybody, this is the play that he is producing is the V-Day Vagina Monologues, which that is a show by Eve Ensler.
Right.
And it has toured all around the country. In fact, I've
All
been in it.
world.
I was in it with Taj from SWV,
Okay.
Coco,
Wow.
a bunch of people,
Mhm.
part of a kind of national cast and
Right.
stuff. And tell us what made you decide. Let's tell the audience what Vagina Monologues is about.
It's about the issues that women go through, and this has been around a long time, like you said. And it's just when Frankie approached me about it, I said, let me read it because I didn't know about it. And so I read about it. It talked about domestic violence and all the issues that women are going through. And I didn't know. And I told Frankie once we decided to do it, I said, this is something we go on no matter what. Frankie Darcell not in Detroit no more. But this is something we go on because domestic violence is going on every day. And
Yes.
I didn't know it was so bad until you really read the statistics and everything that's going on with it.
Right. There's so many. I got a call from Turning Point, which is out in Macomb County.
Mhm.
And next month or a month after, we're going to have a survivor on and people
Yeah.
there. But it's something, it's like a hidden thing, too.
A lot of people don't like to
there
talk
are a
about
lot
it.
of injured
Right.
people walking
Mhm.
around the streets.
Yes.
Don't you agree?
Yes, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. You know, like Frankie asked me one time, what do the guys say about that go through domestic violence or hit a woman? I said, wow, I never hit a woman. The last time I got into a fight with a girl, that was 4th grade, and she beat me up. So I learned a long time ago, you just don't touch a woman. But what do you say to a guy that's going through that or doing something like that?
Okay,
So it's a
and
deep
like
issue.
men can be abused
Yeah,
also.
yes,
And that's another
yes.
thing
That's a
that people,
whole
people
nother
don't
issue.
even
Talk about.
put on the
Right.
table is the fact that men can be abused
Yes.
also. And men can be abused, can be abusers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see a play where men are talking about why.
Right. Why?
You know,
Yeah.
because there are a lot of reasons why.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So you've never talked to any men who've been
Not-
perpetrators?
Not offhand, no, ma'am. And that's the deep part, you know, because it probably goes on, but will they approach me or will they talk to somebody else? Would they drink their problems away? We don't know. Like I said, no one have came to me say, Shawn, I just jumped on my girl. What should I do? You know, I never
Yeah.
had a guy come up and say that, and that's deep.
Well, it's like that temper.
Right.
When you let someone let you lose your temper and then you lash out, they have so much control over you.
Right.
And people don't realize that losing control and thinking about it later, oh my God, I hurt her, or somebody can end up dead.
Yeah.
And those are kind of things that happen. And also in the vagina monologues, they talk about the way young girls can get abused
Right.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sexually abused.
Sexually abused, and that's something we don't talk about in our community, and it goes on. It goes on all over the world, and
Well,
it's a deep subject.
I had students one day. We were just talking because I taught drama, and I did a teen dating violence prevention program, and I also did a girls in violence program. And one day we were just talking, and so many of the young ladies would say, my mother's boyfriend did this to me and so forth. And when I told my mother, she
Didn't believe it.
she didn't believe it.
Yeah, and that goes on every day, all over the world, and that's the deepness. Also, you said another one I like is I was in the room.
Yeah, that's the
talking
one
about the birth of, and that is so powerful.
I was in the room, which talks about the birth of her grandchild. There was a woman in the room when the child was being born, and that nurse who's in
Right.
the room, and so forth and so on. It was really an interesting piece to do. In fact, so many of the pieces are very interesting.
Yes.
And Shawn, you have a 4-day run with this, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thursday, March 27th at 8 o'clock. Friday, March 28th at 8 o'clock. We have 2 shows on Saturday, 3 o'clock and 8 p.m., and Sunday at 4 o'clock on March 30th.
Now, you say a portion of the proceeds go to Sada House. What
Yes,
is that?
that's my friend Katrina Carmichael. She helped a lot of people that's going through domestic violence. Her sister was killed, so she was in one of our plays long time ago called Saving Mama, and she wrote a poem that's so powerful and deep, and you really don't know what people go through. And she said, Shawn, my sister was killed, and she wrote a poem. She got a book out and everything, and she just one of the organizations always want to help out because she always just out there, and she said she was discouraged a couple of weeks ago, but the little things that we do to help people to keep going.
Yeah, we got to, yesterday I heard some women talking, and these were women who were older than me, and they were talking about depression.
Wow.
And so many, part of that too is this weather.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had an
yeah.
exceptionally
Yes.
hard
Yes.
winter.
Yes.
And for me, in my winter,
Right.
I lost somebody that I cared deeply about.
Wow.
And it's been hard, and I fight back because I know that even though we may lose people, maybe we get down, God does not want us to be down.
And we have to encourage each other.
We have to
We have
encourage each
to
other, and I
encourage
have
each other.
some good friends who have kind of kept me going and so forth. And I applaud her for starting it's Sada House.
Yes.
And then there's Kaylin Risker, who does the SAFE program
Right.
for sisters acquiring financial
Yes.
empowerment too. And I've done some things with her program, and she's a friend of the show also. And you need to reach out to her.
Okay.
Have you reached?
No, I can't.
Yeah,
Give me
to
the
Kaylin
information.
Risker.
I'll
Yes,
reach out.
she's
Yes.
on Facebook.
Okay.
And so let's talk about some of the actors who are in this.
We have One Single Rose. She's a poet from Detroit. Beautiful. She's a great artist. Been all around the world. We have Proof Mother. Pepper Holton.
Really?
Yes.
Proof was
Yes. One of-
Eminem's best friend.
Yes, one
who
of
was
the
killed.
one of the Detroit rappers' mother, and she's just a powerful woman, and I encourage her all the time. Say, I like that she just continue going on no matter what. We have Elveria Wilson. We have so many females that's been in the play before, or some new ones.
How
that
many do
sing.
you have? How big is
We-
the cast?
About 35. because we rotating the women.
Oh,
So
that's great.
that's the good thing about it. It's about 30.
And what's so great is 1515 Broadway. That's a great venue.
Real
It's nice and
real
small and
intimate.
intimate. That was a good idea
Yes.
you had.
Yeah. Well, I try to be creative.
Chris Jansen.
Right. And
Yes.
Chris been around a long
A
time.
long time. But
Right.
it's a great venue because it's great to see that in an intimate
Setting.
setting.
Yeah.
Right.
And one thing, that's where I first started doing a play. I did 2 plays there, and then I moved on, and Chris was like, what happened? I said, well, I got a perfect play to bring, and he was so happy when I brought it.
Well,
D-Day.
I know he would be happy when
Right.
you brought this.
Right. And he said, I'm so happy. So that's
It's a good piece.
It's a great piece. It's a great
I'd like
piece.
to do one with men. I can write it. I've already
Let's
written
do it.
something.
Well,
No, I
let's
can
do it. Let's do it.
I'd like to do one
Let's
with
do
men.
that. Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
think that a lot of women would be interested, especially when you get to understand men
Right.
and learn men. And so many
And
men.
know our issues.
Yes, because so many men are the walking wounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really are.
We don't
People
want to
don't
talk.
know their
Right.
stories. They don't
Mhm.
tell their
Right.
stories.
Right. We keep a lot of stuff inside.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And what do you think that is? The macho piece or what?
I don't know. I'm the same way. I keep a lot of stuff inside. I like to talk, but some things you just don't want to talk about. You just go through life.
Life is trial and error.
Right. You go through life.
You just try things, and if it doesn't work, you may try something else. Don't let that thing that fails. We all fail.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all fail, but that's just a part of learning and getting stronger.
Right.
And I really would like to do a piece. I'd like to get about 6 to 8 men. And
I could
do
get
a
them.
piece.
I could get them.
Oh,
they
I
out
could
there.
get 'em. I
Right.
got- I have access.
Right.
I
They
have
out there.
access.
So yeah,
And
that would
getting,
be real powerful.
Getting some pieces together, because I think that men need to be
Yes.
highlighted and understood. And just like Joel was saying, a man can change.
Right.
And see, some people, well, I don't believe sometimes that everybody can do a complete
360.
360,
Right.
but I think they can modify certain
Yeah.
behaviors.
Yeah.
And some of those negative pieces, because we all find negative pieces in
Right.
ourselves that we
Mhm.
say, well, we need to keep that
I need to
down
work
here.
on this. Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that
Yeah.
I can maneuver society, that I could draw more people closer to
Right.
me and everything. And I'd like to tell my audience that starting next week, now this is next week,
Yes, ma'am.
Thursday
night.
at 1515 Broadway, which
Yes.
is located right across from the Grand Opera House.
The Opera House and right next to the YMCA.
So how can they get the tickets?
Tickets are available on www.brownpapertickets.com, or they could call me at 313-433-8384.
Wow. As I sit
It just
here and
brings
talk-
back memories.
No, well, not only that, as I sit here and I talk to you, I'm thinking about men. I've known young men who were in the system only because maybe their parents died. Or
Right.
one young man, his mom had committed suicide. His
Wow.
father had passed away. His mom and the grandparents had him, but then it was just a little hard for them.
Hard.
So he's doing real well now, but they sent him to one of these places that take in
Youth
foster
homes,
care.
foster care
But it
homes.
wasn't a punishment
Right.
foster care. And people can turn around with the right support. And out here, with women too, women are facing a lot of issues because,
Yes,
as I told you, I had the program that deals with girls and violence. See, I noticed a lot of programs that deal with men, and there are some deal with young women.
Right.
But women get out there and they fight just like a man.
Oh, yeah.
They
yeah.
are really
Yeah.
assuming some of the so-called characteristics that men had to
Yes.
go
It's
through.
deep. It's deep.
It's really
And
deep.
like you say, that would be something. Definitely, I would love to work with you. I done heard great things about you. I appreciate everything you doing.
Well,
I'm
I'm getting back in theater. I got another
Right,
little
yes.
piece to. I'm in and out.
Well,
because
keep
I have
writing.
this.
That's one thing people always encourage me. Keep writing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
Oh yeah,
Keep writing.
yeah,
And-
because there's so much social change that can be adapted. You can social change through the arts, through
Right.
poetry, through
Right.
theater, through film,
Music.
and music, everything.
Right.
There's so much that we can do, and I'd like to thank you for coming on the show this morning. This is just fabulous. Let's once again go through the dates and everything. Tell people.
Yes, it's 1515 Broadway, downtown Detroit, Thursday, March 27th at 8 o'clock, Friday, March 28th at 8 p.m., Saturday, March 29th, 3 p.m. and 8 p.m., and Sunday, March 30th at 4 p.m. And tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com or Shawn P. Entertainment at 313-433-8384.
And you know what's so good about all of this, too, is on Friday you could go to V-Day.
Right.
And then Saturday you could go
Right.
to Il Playbill.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
It
you
is
could
so
just
much.
hang downtown. If
And that's what I
if
like.
I had hotel fee, I could just live down there for the weekend.
And that's the key. We just want stuff to go on in our city.
We
and there's
do.
a lot of stuff going on in
There
the city.
is.
So I hate when people say it's nothing to do in Detroit.
please.
I'm like, it's
Are you
plenty to
kidding?
do. It's
Are
plenty.
you kidding? There's plenty
Right.
to
It's
do.
plenty to
in
do.
fact, these two events are basically walking distance.
Right. From each other.
A block.
Yes. Yes.
It's a block.
Yes.
I mean, you tear down Grand Opera House, you
Right.
can just walk straight to,
right
to
right
the
across.
Jazz
Right.
Cafe.
Yeah.
So, Shawn, thank you again,
you.
Joel, and everybody. Next weekend is going to be a fabulous weekend here in Detroit, and support the arts and support these young artists too, because they're putting their heart and soul into this. And you have tickets right there,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have
He
tickets. So
carries
please
tickets
call
with-
me. Carry it
yes.
with me.
What's that phone number one more time?
313-433-8384.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to have a best of show with Table Talk this afternoon. We won't be going on live this afternoon, but we'll be back next week. And I would like to send my condolences to one of my co-hosts on Table Talk, Cheryl Ajamu. She lost her first cousin, and he was young, and he was sick, and it just, God has just taken us out. And you have to be very, very thankful for the day. The fact that God woke you up this morning,
Amen.
that's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
And so we'll see you next week on the Brenda Perryman Show. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. I'll see you then. Thank you, Shawn.